Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's been a minute since we have been together, but I am so excited to be here with you. I know a lot of you were saying you followed along with my Disney adventures. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they follow me over on Instagram and they got to see my whole Disney trip last week. My husband and I went and spent about 4 days. I came back with some sort of virus of some sort. And so I'm still getting over it, but I'm feeling so much better and I'm glad to be here today. I could not skip today because it is Concord and Ninth release day and you all love Concord and Ninth. And I wanted to create something really fun and show you how a product worked. So I am excited to be here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Carissa from sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'm thrilled that you're here, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I really appreciate you being here with me. And I hope that you will subscribe to this channel and go ahead and turn on those notifications. That will let you know anytime I go live, anytime I post a video, and there are some videos coming this week. I took some time off last week, like I said, to go to Disney, and I worked really hard on the deadline for this Concord and Ninth release before I left, so there hasn't been much, but I have to tell you, there's more coming. So Anna G says, I've got a Disney cruise plan and can't wait to go. Disney cruises are the absolute best. So what I thought I would do today is introduce you to the entire release, flip you through the products, show you the projects that I've made. I have the Christina Werner release here as well. And then I thought I would create a card with you today, of which I've done some, a little bit of pre-die cutting, but I didn't do all of it because I really wanted to show you how it all works. So I saved some die cutting. One thing I wanted to mention is when you're watching live, I love it when you chat along in the live chat, ask me questions, chat with each other. I love that so much. If you're watching on the replay, you can leave me a comment. I love it when you do that. And let me know what you love about this release. I do have everything linked in the YouTube description below. So if you want to purchase the products, I have affiliate links down there. There is a visual supply list. So if you click that link, it's towards the top of the description. That will open up a page that will show you the products where you actually have photos of the products to kind of click on. So if you're looking for something in particular, just be sure you check there. Thank you all for the get well wishes and all of the I miss you and all that. I love that so much. And I forgot to bring my little stream deck over here to change my scenes. So let's do that now. And we'll go down to the overhead. And like I said, I wanted to walk you through the release very quickly. We won't go into too much detail with this, but I want to show you everything that's available. Starting out with the Celebrate You bundle. This is stamps, stencils, and dies. I love this so much. It was part of a SCT event before, so you may have this already in your stash. If not, it's available now over on the Concord and Ninth website. It's got this die set that has the stitched mapping that Concord and Ninth does so well. They've done floral sets like this and all of that. So this kind of has the same thing, and it has the individual elements that you can pop up. It also has a stencil set. There's some elements like a party hat and a cupcake and some balloons to fill in some of these areas or fill in this kind of oval window that you can create. And for that, I've created a couple of cards. I've created this very simple one with the party hat. I love this so much. This confetti stencil is a part of this Celebrate You stencil pack, and I think that was a great addition. The stripes are also stenciled on from that pack. I also have a shaker card because, I mean, this was just screaming for a shaker card. Now you can see I've used this stitched mapping cover die on the card front for this. And I've chosen only to pop up just the balloons. So I didn't go overboard on this, but you could fill in all those greenery things on this die if you choose to, because those are all included in the die set. So that's the Celebrate You bundle. Sydney's just popping in and she said, what have I missed? I'm just introducing you to the release right now, and then we'll get creating. This is Fish Friends. This is stamps, stencils, and dies. These are a lot of fun. You can stencil a background with the fishes. It also has like a wave background here that you can use to create a background. You see all the fishies stenciled here. There is coordinating sentiments, which say love you lots. And then there's like glub, 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 which is fish speak for, and then you can fill it in. And then the die set. So the die set's perfect because some of these sentiments fit perfectly on these fish dies, or you can paper piece the fishies together and create a really adorable multicolored fish. So let me show you the cards that I created with that. I have a stenciled version here where I stenciled both the wave pattern and the school of fishes on the back. And then I used the die set to create some not greenery, kelp, seaweed, and coral. And I stamped this onto a vellum bubble. Big congrats from all of us. I thought that was a fun way to use it. And then a die cut card. Now on this one, it's hard to tell, but I actually created an impression with that wave stencil and then just ink blended a little bit along those edges. And this gives it a little bit of texture in the background as well. And I created that paper pieced fish there. So that's the Fish Friends bundle. Again, all of these are linked in the YouTube description below. Next up is the Friendly Phrases Stamp and Coordinating Die Set. You're going to see these sentiments on my projects throughout the release. So I'm not going to show you specific cards for this because you're going to see it throughout. But I wanted to show you this. It's great. It mixes really well with the Hexie Bloom, the Patchwork, and some of the other products that are in the stencil. It's just kind of a good everyday sentiment set that has a couple of dies that will cut out the larger sentiments here, but then you have the square, the rectangle, and the hexagon that these will fit on as well. So that's so much fun. And that brings us to Hexie Bloom Inlay Die. Now this is really cool. This is kind of Concord and Ninth's modern take on quilted patterns. There's another one in there. It's an inlay die, so you can use the individual pieces. You can use the outline that it creates. You can make an impression with this die, which is a lot of fun. I'll show you a card with that here in just a bit. But I will show you the cards that I created. This first one is an inlay die or an inlay card. So I used various levels on the outline as well as what I've inlaid. So there are 3 levels here, 2 levels, and then a single level here. And that gives it a lot more dimension. Again, you'll see the friendly phrases on here. I've also pieced one of these kind of Hexie blooms together to create a little floral decor piece. And then the leaves are from that friendly phrases as well. So you can use this as an all over inlay die, or you can just use the little pieces on their own. For this one, I've created a mini slimline card, and I've just pieced some of those Hexie blooms together and sprinkled them across the card. Again, you'll see the friendly phrases there. So I've kept the color palette the same throughout all of these card projects because I find it makes it really cohesive and shows how the products really work together when you keep everything in the same palette. And so I've done that. I'm going to veer off from that palette for today's project, but we are going to use some of these products. Next up is one of 2 expandable card sets from Concord and Ninth. This is what I'm going to show you today. It's so much fun. I'm not going to show you the limo one. I'm going to show you the ice cream one because I think it's so much fun. Well, they're both a lot of fun. But this allows you to create an expanding card. So it will go in an A2 size envelope, but it folds out to reveal a full scene. Now you could use this with other dies or stamps in your stash. You can use like this expandable piece. I'm going to show you how those come together. But you basically then take your car front and your car back, all of the little detail pieces, and build you a stretch limo. It's so much fun. And of course you have the sentiments here that coordinate, that work on the banners or along the bottom of the card. So it's so much fun. Now let me show you what that expandable card looks like. So here is the Limo Party expandable card. You can see if it weren't for these balloons, it would fit into an A2 size envelope. So just make sure if you want it to go in an envelope, you don't have anything hanging over. But when you open this up, you get your full stretch limousine, and you have all of these pieces in this die set to create this whole limousine. It's not as hard as you would think. It doesn't have as many little pieces as you would think. And it comes together really easily. I'm going to show you this with the ice cream version here in just a bit. Now, if you don't want to do like this full expandable card, You can do just the front and the back and create a smaller, like retro style car, which I think is so much fun on an A2 size card. Or you can create a slimline card. This just has one of the centerpieces here, and it creates this fun little limousine, which is so adorable with the bouquet and the champagne glass here, a perfect wedding card. So this is such a fun set to play with, and I think that it can be used for like masculine cards and celebrations. It's a lot of fun, and I think you're gonna love playing with this. It's one of the 2 expandable card sets in this release, and I'm gonna show you the other one in just a bit. But first up, I have Patchwork Inlay Die Set. Another die set, another modern take on quilting from Concord and Ninth. It's so much fun because you get the frame pieces and then the individual block pieces, which you can either piece together as a full background or you can use individually. So you don't have to create a full inlay card to get a lot of use out of some of these die sets. Let me show you what I mean. On this card here, I've just pieced together one of those individual quilt blocks and then used this piece here from the die set to create this little lattice detail. This again is Friendly Phrases. And you can see I actually combined it with, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a set from last month's release that has kind of some postage edge. I popped those up behind it and kind of created that postage edge detail. Now in the back of this, do you see this impression that's been made? This is actually an impression with the Hexie Blooms Inlay Die. So I kind of combined those 2 inlay dies together to create a cool pattern on the background of my card. Now this next one is a full inlay card design with all of those quilt blocks kind of patterned together. And then of course I've cut this out of champagne cardstock, and you can see I've added like a little enamel dot in the frame there. So much fun. So a couple of ways that you can use this, and you can use the blocks individually on a card like this or do the full inlay. So that is the Patchwork Inlay Die set. Patchwork die, yes, it's so much fun to play with. And then finally, the last product in the release is what we're using today, and that's the So Many Scoops Stamps and Coordinating Die Set. Again, an expandable card design that you're gonna love so much. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to put together. It's not overwhelming at all. And when I saw these ice creams, it was by far my favorite of the whole release. And so I decided that when I went live for this release, I wanted to come on here and have this be kind of the focal point because I think it's so much fun. And again, you can use these expandable tab pieces with other dies or things that you may have in your stash to create an expandable card, but these are just designed to work perfectly with that. So let me show you a couple of cards. If you don't want to do expandable, you can do a double scoop on your card front. This is an A2 size card, and create a fun ice cream cone. You can see I have the Hooray from the stamp set stamped along the side, which I thought was a fun way to use that. I also used a little bit of glitter on the bottom of these ice cream scoops. And then for the piece de resistance, it is the expandable card. So this is how it's going to come out of the envelope, folded into an A2. It will fit in an A2. You can see this. And then when you open it up, you have your full array of ice cream scoops that stretch out over this entire card, which is so much fun. And I'm gonna show you how to create one of these today. We're gonna do a little bit of the die cutting and all of that. I love ice cream, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I love ice cream too. I don't remember always being like such an ice cream girl, but I do love ice cream. Now I'm gonna walk you through the Christina Werner release as well. I have this linked below. I do not have card projects for this, but I will be creating with this here on my YouTube channel, so stay tuned for that. So first up is the Thoughts and Prayers dies and stamp set. So you can see you have your large thoughts and prayers. I love that these sentiments are all connected, so you don't have to piece the individual letters. And then there are shadow dies for each of these. And then of course the little sentiment stamp that you can stamp a sub-sentiment as well. Now, next up, these are beautiful. So Christina has released a written words stamp and die set previously. So this is another kind of take on that, sending good vibes. You are stronger than you think. Hang in there. This is a paper hug. There are no words. With deepest sympathy, sending sunshine, and so sorry for your loss. And then, of course, you have the coordinating dies to die cut those out. I caramba, my bank account. I know. There are 2 new stencil sets in the Christina Werner release. The first is the Florence stencil set, Florence stencil pack, and then the Bitsy Blooms stencil pack, and I'll just show you the back side of these. So these combine together to create these fun patterns on your card projects. I love these because you can stencil a entire 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock, cut it in 2, and get 2 cards for 1 with the stencil packs as well. So those are always a great one. The Long Lines line from Christina Werner has several elements, and there's a brand new one. So this is the Long Line Lilies, and this is kind of perfect timing for the Easter season that's coming ahead. It's got your 2 focal images, and of course the dies that die cut those out. It's got some great sentiments in here as well. And then of course you have your stencil set, which will fill in all of these beautiful stamped images. So you could do some heat embossing with this, or just do some stenciling probably, and then die cut those out. So a lot of ways that you can use those and combine this. But she's done a lot of these in this Long Line series, and they're really beautiful. People tend to love them. Does my family really need Christmas gifts this Christmas? Don't. They just need something small. Just fill their stocking, right? I know. Finally, we have the Handmade with Love stamps and coordinating dies. This is kind of like a quilted pattern. It's harder to see in the packaging because there's like an alignment guide in here. If you can see this, that helps you align the entire pattern. So I'm going to remove those alignment guides, and you can see the individual stamps. And those are just in there so that you know how these can come together. Of course, you don't have to use them like that. You can use them however you want, but this will give you a little guide on how to kind of place these stamps in order to stamp them in these cool patterns. Now, if I was going to do this and line these up, I would probably do more than 1 card project at a time, because you're taking the time to kind of position them. So you could, like, definitely, if you were working in your Misty, bake them some cookies. That's a great idea, Stephanie. But I would probably do more than 1 of these at a time because it would just make sense if you were going to position those. And then, of course, you have the coordinating die set here. Okay, we've done a lot of talking about the release. So let's get into creating. I wanted to show you the release because I think it's a good way to see everything that's available. I'm creating with the So Many Scoops set today, but this comes together in much the same way that the Limo Party expandable set comes together. So you're gonna see some similarities in that they'll come together in the same way. So if you've seen one, you kind of will have the gist of, or get the gist of how things come together on the other one. I have cut my ice cream scoops out of a rainbow color palette. So I have pink, lemonade, watermelon, grapefruit, nectar, buttercup, sprout, aqua sky, peacock, and briar rose here for my ice cream scoops. We're going to do a rainbow scoop. And then I have my ice cream cone cut out of some cardstocks. These are from the Neutrals cardstock pack from Concord and 9th. It's a great cardstock pack. In fact, I am down to my very last of these, and I really need of these colors, and I need to reorder that. So I have die cut just these, excuse me, just these ahead of time to kind of save some time. And I'll be working with this set here, which is my working set. Now, to create an expandable card, you're gonna need 2 of these pieces here, which is included in the die set. It's going to create all the score lines that you need, but you need to die cut 2 of these. And in addition to that, you need 1 panel of 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch cardstock. So I've already pre-cut the 4 1/4 by 5.5, and I'm gonna go ahead and die cut these. Now, I know what your thought is. Can you die cut this from a 1/4 sheet of cardstock? And unfortunately, you're just shy of that. So do you see how that curve will kind of cut off? So you kind of, it takes about maybe 1 1/4 sheets of cardstock to create everything you need, but you're going to have a lot left over up here. So less than that, but you cannot get 2 out of 1/2 sheet, which makes sense because in order to create the full 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card, you need to have more than what's on here. And I've tried to like shift it over and put another one there. It just doesn't work. I've tried it. So many happy colors. I know. Margie said, sorry, I'm late. It's totally fine. We are just getting started. I have a whole mess of cords over here right now because we are working to get some lights hardwired in behind me because they've been rechargeable for forever. And I'm tired of charging them. And I want them to be ready to go anytime I go live. So I'm going to start by cutting 2 of these. You can see it creates these score lines that I need. You have all of this left over that you can use. So it doesn't technically take a full 1 1/4 pages of cardstock, but you get my drift, right? You get my drift. Because you're going to have lots left over. So you're going to have big scraps that you can use for other things. But it does not fit on a 1/4 sheet, and you cannot get 2 out of 1/2 sheet. I've tried it. Okay, so we have 2 of those, which would be the same that you would need for the Limo Party expandable card. So you have the 2 different flaps in there that you'll use to die cut those. All right, so now we're gonna build our base. You wanna build your base first. You have your 2 panels or 2 expandable tabs that you need, and then your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold, there's score lines. So you're gonna fold this small tab towards the back, just like that, and just like that, right along the score line. You will want to have like a scoring tool on hand, or a bone folder on hand, just to reinforce those score lines. I like to have them nice and tight, those creases. And then this tab on the front, which is like this half circle, you're gonna fold towards the front. So in the opposite direction of the tab. Okay, so then you're gonna fold that towards the front and just reinforce that fold line there. Okay, so I'm gonna do it on both. All right, so now I have this tab to the back, circle tab to the front, long tab to the back, circle tab to the front, okay? Make sure it's all kind of scored and pressed into place. And then you're going to attach these to your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch panel. So you're basically just going to wrap the tabs around to the back side and adhere them, and that gives you your expandable card base. So we just need to take some adhesive and put it on the back side of these tabs. Excuse me. Now for today, I'm going to use some liquid glue. I don't like green, but that one isn't bad. Well, this is like a sea glass color. It is one of my favorites from Concord and 9th. I use it all the time. Cannot keep enough of it in my craft room. So I'm going to take and just add some liquid glue. You could do some double-sided tape, but you want to just make sure that it's going to be adhered on there really well. So what I like to do is I like to take my panel of cardstock and I like to push it up into the fold of this other kind of die cut and creased cardstock, and then just kind of make sure it's all lined up there, press down into place, and then we can adhere it down. And we'll just kind of put a magnet on there to hold it in place while that liquid glue kind of sets for just a second. I got a little bit of glue that kind of swidged out. All right, so that's going to attach that panel on to the A2 panel, just like that. And then we're gonna just repeat the same thing on the bottom with the other one. sunny Escondido. Oh my goodness. You know what? It was so sunny when we were at Disney last week and it was so beautiful, but we came home to the Central Valley in California and we are under just like this gray gloom. It was that way before we left. It is freezing outside. It is 44 degrees, which is cold for us here. And it's kind of got like this frosty, foggy, wet in the air, and it's gray and cold, and it's been miserable. But I'm going to tell you, the sunshine in Southern California did us so good. My glue is clogged. Okay, so I have that. And then I'm going to take that and do the same thing. So push that into the fold line of this die cut and folded panel. And then we will have this here. Now, I used liquid glue so I could kind of maneuver this around if I didn't have this exactly correct. And I did not. So now I will maneuver that around. And now I have my expandable card base as soon as that sets up. Margie says, I hope you're feeling okay now. I'm feeling better. I was totally out Saturday, and when we were driving home, I was just, so bad. And then Sunday, I spent the entire day in my pajamas on the couch, which is so unlike me. Even if I'm not feeling good, I'm usually up and around doing a few things, but I was just done for it. And I still have a little bit of this congestion and junk left, but I'm feeling so much better. Okay, so we've created our card base. So this is our expandable card base. Now, all we have to do is decorate it. Now, in order to decorate it, hold on, I need to pop my ears. My ears get all clogged when I'm sick. In order to decorate it, we need 9 ice cream scoops, but there are 3 different scoops. There is the full scoop, which looks like this. There is the partial scoop, which looks like this. And there is the split scoop, which looks like this, and it cuts the scoop in 2 pieces. So this is the full scoop, this is the partial, and this is the split. Now the split is there for the areas where this is going to span across the fold lines of this card base. You have to have that there because you need to have your fold line, and you need to be able to, you know, kind of compensate for that. Now, in addition to that, so if you're going down, you need 9 scoops total, 3, 6, 9. You can see 3, 5, and 9, is it 3? 3, 7, and 9 are the ones that are split scoops. Scoop 1 is the only one that's the full scoop, and then the rest you're gonna use the partial scoops for. So 3, 7, and 9 are your split scoops. The rest of the scoops besides scoop 1 are your partial scoops. This will come together much quicker than you think it's going to come together. Now I've cut my ice cream cone out of 2 different colors. So these come in 2 different dies. These die cut at once and these die cut at once. And I'm just going to assemble these together. So I'm going to use liquid glue again, and hopefully this glue is going to cooperate with me today because it's being a little bit finicky, and I don't have time for finicky today. So I'm just gonna liquid glue these together, and let me know if you have comments or questions in the live chat, or if you're watching on the replay, you can let me know in the comment section and I'll try to get back to those. So I'm just gonna glue this portion on top of this one here. Just kind of hold that down and give it a second to kind of set up. Again, these browns are from the Neutrals cardstock pack, which is kind of like the skin tone pack from Concord and 9th that has some really great colors in there. And then this piece, which I don't know if you can see this, but there is an impressed line that's going to help you line up your scoop onto there. Kind of put it in the correct spot so there's that impressed line. And then I'm going to take this and liquid glue it onto my ice cream here. Just kind of butt it up against the areas where the kind of waffling of the cone starts. I'm just going to make sure that I kind of have this centered up using my grid mat to make sure everything's in place. Okay. And then I'm going to add this little detail layer on the ice cream cone with a little more liquid glue. So that's how the cone comes together. So it's 2 dies. You die cut all the pieces using 2 different dies, and then that's ready to go. So we need the cone put together before we start building our card, because we want to make sure that we place the cone along this fold line here. And then we're also going to place scoop number 1. Remember, we have 9 scoops. So scoop number 1 is going to go on this tab here. And it's going to line up with the little impressed lines on the cone. So basically we want to put adhesive on these little tabs here, and we can hold this closed here. Let's do that. And put that adhesive here and here, and then we can add our cone and our ice cream scoop. So I'm just going to use liquid glue because that gives me a second to kind of move things around if I need to. And these are designed to completely cover those little semicircle tabs there. So I'm going to make sure that I get it butted up against the fold line there. And then this piece, we don't want to put glue on the cone because then that will keep it from opening. So we just have glue on that tab there, and we're going to line it up with the score line that's created by the die on the ice cream cone. So just like that, and we're going to adhere that down. Margie said that's going to be so cute. It is going to be so much fun. Yes, and all of these are Concord and 9th colors. So, and I've linked the card stocks below. Okay, now if you wanted to like really step up this card, what you could do is do a little ink blending on each scoop to kind of add some shading. There's a lot of things that you could do, but I'm kind of keeping it kind of on the more simple side today. Just so you don't feel overwhelmed by all of it, you know? So there we have our scoop adhered onto our card. Now, once I get to this point, I can open this up just like this. Now, all of it will not fit in here at once. It is what it is. I'm going to flatten this out, and then I'm going to start building my ice cream stack from the bottom up. And just trust me, I've done this a couple of times, and bottom up is the way to go. Now, I will tell you that there will be areas where you will have the smallest gaps because you need to account for the fact that the card base does have to fold and close. So you'll have tiny gaps along the way. I'm starting out with scoop number 9, which I have die cut. It's a split scoop from Briar Rose cardstock, and I'm lining up that bottom split piece with the score line that's on my cone. So when I fold this, the pink scoop is going to cover the purple that's below. But this is really the genius part in that they've created this split scoop, which I just bent mine. Are you gonna be able to see that? Which will kind of allow for the fold line of the card, okay? So I don't think you can see the fact that I just bent that too much. So I'm going to do this with tape runner adhesive because I think it will just be a little bit faster. Okay, so I'm going to line this up with the split that's below it, leaving the tiniest gap so that this can fold and go into my envelope. Okay, so we have scoop number 9. Scoop number 8 is going to be a partial scoop. Let me get the glue out of the way. You guys are going to be amazed at how quickly this comes together once we get rolling. Okay, so we're going to go with scoop number 8, and it just nestles into the openings of scoop number 9. Okay, And then we'll go to 7. Now these little pieces I like to do with liquid glue. I just think it's easier. So we'll take this, another split scoop, and we're going to put it just below that fold line there. So you see I'm avoiding the fold line, just like that, making sure that I can bend and fold the card. You can probably ink blend the tiny gap. Honestly, when you fold this out, I don't feel like it's super noticeable at all. I think people are going to be just impressed by the fact that it's all these scoops when they open it up, and it's got that expanding card. So it really, honestly, I am probably one of the most particular crafters that there are. Things bug me. This doesn't tend to bother me. You have to have a little gap in there to allow things to fold. You just can't see, because even when you fold these together, do you see how, you know, you have to have that little gap. So you're going to have like a little tiny gap, but to me, it's no big deal. Okay. So that was scoop 7. Let's go to scoop 6. We'll nestle that in. Scoop 5, which is buttercup. I hardly ever use buttercup. We're going to nestle that in, making sure I can see everything correctly here. And then we're going to go here. Well, this is nectar. Just kind of putting those there. And then we're going to go to scoop 3, which is another split scoop to allow for that fold line. And we're going to put this here. So this is grapefruit. Okay, just like that. And then we'll place this part of the split scoop above the fold line. It is such a fun card. And like I said, I think it comes together faster than you would think, especially with these ice cream scoops, because they build so well together. So I'm just going to make sure that I can fold this. Okay. So just like that. And then if the gaps bother a person too much, you could color the line with alcohol markers. Yeah, I mean, you could. You totally could if that bothers you. This one, I could probably move this little split scoop up just a touch to kind of split the difference there, but it has to have some sort of gap in order to, you know, fold properly. So there will be a small gap. It's that way on the ice cream. It's that way on the limo. And then you're going to go to scoop number 2. All the way up, and we have a complete rainbow of ice cream. And how quick did that come together? Now, I think what we should do is use some of the other pieces in the set to add to it, just like I did with my example card. So now you have your entire scoop stack here. So I think we should kind of go along the same lines as we did here in my example card that I created for the release. Only this one has rainbow, and this one is all kind of in the same color scheme. It's got 3 different colors here. So watermelon, sorbet, or watermelon, nectar, and creamsicle are these 3. So, so much fun. You can see that comes together. So I think it's fun to use the stamp set along with it. So let me dig that out here. I also love, I should have put sprinkles in the top of that. Maybe, I think what we're gonna do is recut this scoop and layer it on top. I'll show you that here in just a second, and add some sprinkles. And then I think we'll have the yay and a cherry, because everybody needs a cherry on top. I wanted to point out that there are small scoops in, small cones and scoops in the set. And to get the details on the small cones, you're going to use the stamp set. So that makes it really easy. So let's cut a cherry and let's recut that scoop on the top. We're going to do some sprinkles and let's do a heart as well because I think that's fun. So I have some bits and pieces over here. I'm going to show you how I like to do the sprinkles. Now the sprinkles you can die cut and then add them on in individual little pieces, or I need this, I need this. Go with me here for just a second. I'm getting my colors ready. You can die cut them and add them on as individual pieces, or you can die cut them from the layer and add like a glitter cardstock layer behind, which I think is a lot of fun. So let's do some die cutting. I'm going to set this guy aside while we do our die cutting. I'm going to cut the layer of the cherry from watermelon. I'm going to use the same colors that I used for all the scoops. I'm not bringing in any new colors. Let's go with Sprout here. In fact, we're going to trim this down so we can get... Concord and Ninth thinks of everything. They sure do. They have great products. Okay, so we'll do our cherry stem from that. Let's just trim this down. Can you guys hear the congestion in my voice a little still? It's just lingering a little. You know how it like tends to linger forever? And you're like, why can't it just clear up? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do for the scoop on the top. And we'll just layer it over the top. I'm going to add the scoop and I'm going to add the little sprinkle die cut. And then I'm going to die cut those at the same time. Okay, so I'll have some sprinkle openings in my scoop. And then I'm going to die cut another layer of the scoop from the Concord and Ninth white glitter cardstock. So I'll have my cherry, I'll have my heart, and let's not lose those. I'm going to put them in a little craft catcher off to the side. So there's that. Oops, let me show you that there. And then we'll take, let's do this, and let's grab the yay out of some white glitter. I think that'll be cute. And we'll die cut these. Now, instead of placing all those individual sprinkles, now if you wanted them to be a different color, you could ink blend on this glitter piece, or you could die cut these out of various colors, or you could use like enamel dots. But this is just a little idea here where you can add the glitter behind it. And so you have glitter sprinkles. And then let's do this. I do love that they have taken the little dot for the exclamation point and attached it to the Y, because if there's anything I dislike more than chasing little dots around, there's nothing I dislike more than chasing little dots around my work surface. So I'm super thankful about that. Little things to be thankful for. Now I want ice cream. Might have to get some after dinner today. Why wait till dinner? That's what I say. Have it now. Have it now. I'm going to cut a couple of additional layers of this yay. This yay is from the So Many Scoops. So I'm only using just that one bundle, the stamps and dies together to create this card. The glitter makes such a difference. It is so much fun and sparkly. The power of suggestion, am I right? You are so right. And I honestly, what's your favorite kind of ice cream? My favorite, I really am a vanilla girl, and I know that that's so boring, but I do love vanilla so much. But if I had a favorite kind, it would probably be coffee flavored ice cream from Haagen-Dazs. The little pints that they sell is like so my favorite. Now I'm going to stack up these layers. So I have the Yay, and I'm going to put liquid glue on the front side of 2 of these and then add the glitter layer on the top. And then I'll add my cherry. I'll adhere that together, and then we'll have those, and then we'll do our scoop as well. In fact, I think I'll do the scoop next so that it can have time to adhere to the glitter cardstock. So let's do this. This is going to go on the outside of the card. Now, if you were putting something on the inside of the card and it was an additional die cut, I would not stack it up because it won't lay right when you go to close this card that already has, you know, a ton of stuff going on. So I would just say, just don't stack it up. Cherry Garcia is your favorite. Salted caramel. I like salted caramel's like a win for me as well. At Disney California Adventure, Ghirardelli has, my husband is so cute. He gets giddy over this because he has a dairy allergy, a severe dairy allergy, not lactose intolerance. We're talking anaphylaxis, but they have a dairy-free hot fudge sundae at Ghirardelli in Disney California Adventure, and we got it twice for him while we were there last week, and he is so much fun. But they also have at that Ghirardelli, they have it's called the Gold Rush sundae. It's basically vanilla and caramel, and they add some sea salt to it, and you get that pop of the sea salt with the caramel. It's so good. That's for me. That's what I like. Okay, let's do the scoop next. So I'm going to add some liquid glue to the scoop. It's not going to want to adhere to the glitter right away. So we're going to have to let it set for a minute, okay? Just know that you need enough glue and you need time when you're adhering something to a piece of glitter cardstock. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to make sure it's lined up properly. And then I'm just going to put my magnets on the top to kind of hold everything together. Michael Rutledge says, I miss Ghirardelli hot fudge sundaes from when I lived in San Francisco. Yeah, it's always fun to go to Ghirardelli when you're in San Francisco. Always a fun trip. Okay, so for the cherry, you have the little stem piece, which you'll cut out of green, any color green. And then the cherry piece, which, you know what? Maybe I should have used poppy on this. Maybe I should have made it like a real red cherry. I don't know. We'll see. I could get a piece of poppy. Okay, so we have those elements put together. I'm going to move you up, sir. You can move there. I have these elements ready to go. And I think let's do some stamping. Never heard of salt and straw. Oh, did someone mention salt and straw? I don't know what that is. Oh, we have a salt and straw in town. They make some crazy flavors. I've never heard of that either. Pink Paper and Things says, OMG, salt and straw is so good. The one at Downtown Disney always has such a long line, but oh, see, I didn't even go. Didn't even go there. Is that the place where they have like the crazy milkshakes? I have been there before if that's the case. Okay. So I'm going to put this into my Misty stamping tool, and we're going to be very brave. Going to be very, very brave. Okay. I'm going to grab I think I'm going to do Poppy Cherry for the win. Yeah, I might change that. I like this situation that I did here. So I'm going to copy that. Copy that. And what I did was I grabbed this little piece from the stamp set and I just lined it up. You could do this before you assemble, but I like to do things the hard way. And so I don't think of those things ahead of time. Okay, so I'm going to take some white pigment ink from Concord and Ninth. I'm going to ink up that little stamp there and go there with it. Strawberry balsamic sounds yummy. Is that Molly Mousse? Oh, you know what? I love a strawberry balsamic salad with tri-tip on it. Do you all know what tri-tip is? Because I've heard it's like a California cut of meat. Like other states don't do tri-tip. Okay, so there's one. Have you all heard of tri-tip or no? But it's like, I love me some tri-tip salad with strawberries and balsamic and blue cheese. Yes, ma'am. Love that. That is like my jam right there. In fact, I would love to have that today, except for that it's so cold. It's not really salad weather. So I'm going to line that up again. We're going to go there-ish. And we're going to ink. Arizona, yes. Yeah, I would assume that Arizona, maybe even New Mexico might have a tri-tip, but I think as you go further east, they don't really do tri-tip. It started as a cut of meat from Santa Maria in California. The Santa Maria tri-tip was like, it's like a big, you cook it as kind of like a roast, but people tend to grill it or smoke it. So it's a little different. Yeah, I had a friend from Central California and he schooled me on tri-tips. Yeah, it's totally a Central California thing. Okay, so that's adorable. Now let's open this up. Okay, be careful that we don't like make a mess of that pigment ink. And then let's stamp let's do a no one stacks up to you. Sometimes we get it here in Louisiana. Oh, that's interesting. I would say that's further east than I would expect it. Now, Louisiana, you guys do a lot of Cajun food, which I love. I'm actually make a mean jambalaya, spicy. I've grown up on it. I grew up on Cajun food. My dad loved Cajun food. He was from the South. Question, do you have glitter paste? If so, how often do you use it? I just had to throw a bunch of glitter paste away because I don't use it too often. And of course, it dries out when you don't use it often enough. So you have to be using it if you want to keep it in your stash. For the glitter paste on these cards, I actually used Stickles glitter glue in Stardust, which I love. That's been something that's been in my craft room for forever. I'm grabbing some inks that match the cardstocks that I've used. You know what? Let's not. Let's do something easier. I'm gonna show you an easy way to do tone-on-tone stamping for all of this. And that is just to use Versamark ink. It's gonna take longer to dry, but that's okay. Your boss came in. Oh no. Well, don't get in trouble. You can always watch the replay. Okay, so I'm gonna do Versamark ink on this No One Stacks Up to You. Just like this. This will give me a nice tone-on-tone. I I use stickles a lot at Christmas time. Yeah, I think it's a good way to add like a little bit, like on this one, it's just like a teeny bit of glitter along the bottom and along that hot fudge line. And it's a good way to add just a little bit of sparkle. And if you put them on thin enough, then you can't see this. We're going to intensify it. If you put them on thin enough, they don't take too terribly long to dry. Okay, so we're just going to keep layering this up until we get, we might have to do the tone on tone stamping after all. I'm not getting the intensity that I want. Okay, come on. Maybe I need to re-ink. It usually works pretty good. So you can kind of start to see it there. Let's just do some tone on tone. So we need Nectar, Buttercup, Sprout, and Aqua Sky. We're just going to use cubes for this because then we can ink up all at once. Okay, so Nectar is first, no one. Then we have Buttercup for stacks up. To you is Sprout. Some of these have never even been opened. And then the little, whatever you would call this, burst is Aqua Sky. Okay, let's do this. I have a dairy allergy too. I find cashew and almond ice creams are great, but there's no good substitute for cheese. How I miss it. Oh, he has never had cheese because he's been allergic to it, anaphylaxis, his entire life. So he doesn't even miss it because he doesn't even know what it is. When he was a baby, his mom put, he had just started eating solid foods, and his mom put like a elbow of macaroni and cheese into his mouth, and he swelled up instantly, and they had to take him to the hospital. She says that you could see through his ears. Like, that's how swollen he was. It was like transparent. Tim Holtz, chunky rock candy glitter to use. Yes, that would be great. I love rock candy glitter. That's a great one. Okay, so all of my stamps are back on. Okay, so this is what we have. Now we can add. It is cute, huh? Now we're going to add this guy on the top here because we added our sprinkle version. So I'm just going to go right over the top of the one that's already there. I'm not even going to like try to take it off. It'll just have some more dimension and thickness to it. It'll be totally fine. I'm going to add the sprinkle layer right on top of the one that's already there. I'm going to do that. And we'll hold it in place while it dries. I'm going to grab some poppy cardstock real quick and see if I want my cherry in poppy. Let's see. I may or may not like this. I'm not sure. I think I like the watermelon better, actually. So I think I'm going to do the watermelon. I think I'll do it to the side like that. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue on the bottom here. And kind of put it over to the side. Love that. I love this card, all those beautiful colors. Thank you. Milk, onion, apple, and egg white allergies, but only found out wow. Desensitize as possible, so I keep eating small amounts so I don't resensitize to them. That's crazy. My husband just got that Neffy nasal spray, which is an epinephrine because, you know, like the EpiPens. He just got the epinephrine nasal spray that just came out on the market, and they gave like a coupon where he was able to get it without a copay. So we're kind of excited about that because it's hard to carry an EpiPen around, but this makes it a lot easier, and it kind of goes in your pocket, and you have 2 doses that you take in case of emergency, 1 and then 1 for 10 minutes later. And so I think that's great advancement there for those with anaphylactic allergies. That's a really cool thing. Then we're going to do the yay here. So let's add this. Watermelon Poppy is too bright. I agree. It's just a little harsh, isn't it? And now what you could do is you could add, this looks great, by the way. If you add a Poppy ink blend to watermelon cardstock, it actually looks really good. So that would be an option. If you wanted to make this a little more red, you could. Okay, I'm going to put that down, and then I added some liquid glue down here that I'm going to wipe off because it doesn't need to be on that descender. And then we're going to take the exclamation point, put it right here, and I think this card is done. Oh my goodness, how cute is that? I love this. Are those not the happiest colors you have ever seen? So much fun. Excuse me. And then, of course, if you want to, maybe I will do this. Wow, you guys, we have only been live for an hour. Okay, I talked for at least like 20 minutes about this release. And so the die cutting took me maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes before I started. Of all these colors, I had my colors picked out, of course. I'm going to do a little Stickles glitter glue along the edge here. And maybe along this top line here to add like a little sparkle to that. Oh my gosh, I just got stickles over here. Yikes. Okay, this is like, you need to have this anchored down to do this, honestly. Okay, I was able to wipe it up. But there we go. I have that little bit of glitter with some Stickles glitter glue around the edge. And that finishes off. Oh, no, I know what I want to do. I want to add a little white gel pen to my cherry. Okay, so let's hold that down and let's do just like a little whoop, whoop, whoop. Just like that on the cherry. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. This is so much fun. And then of course, I have my example card that I did, which has the hot fudge sundae or hot fudge on the top instead of that. It could be caramel if you wanted it to be. So this one opens up. Have this one. And then you have where you can put it on an A2 size card, or let's grab the Limo. So the Limo is going to work in the same way. You're going to have your front and your back, and then you have the centerpiece. And you cut as many of the centerpieces as you want to build your expandable card. So this is what the Limo Party expandable card looks like when you put that all together. So for this one you need 9 scoops total with a variety of the full scoop, the split scoop, and the partial scoop. For this one, you need the front and the back, and then you need 4 middle pieces to span this entire card, and then it goes into an A2 size envelope. So 2 new expandable card options from Concord and 9th, which I think are so much fun. But this ice cream one, I mean, seriously, it has my heart. It is so adorable. And like I said, it came together pretty quick. You guys watched it all here. Let me know if you're watching on the replay, which of these sets from Concord and Ninth, these new products that are available today, is your favorite. I mean, like I said, I'm very partial to the ice creams, and I love this rainbow color scheme that I think is so much fun. Very cute, Carissa. Thank you. Great cards. I really love the colors and the chocolate drizzle card. Yes. So these are watermelon, nectar, and creamsicle. So those are watermelon, nectar, and creamsicle. And I just repeated those 3 colors down because there's 9 scoops total. So 3 colors worked really well for this. We didn't have like an odd man out. On this one, I used 9 different colors to create the rainbow. And then of course you can put it on an A2 size card. You can do a single scoop, a double scoop, a triple scoop, and do like a slimline card. All of those are options. It's fun to stack it up. Yeah, rainbow colors are always fun. Let's come back here. You guys, it's not hot in here today. It's 44 degrees outside. It is not ice cream weather, but I would eat ice cream anyway. I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate that you're here. For those of you that are watching live, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications. If you're watching on the replay, I would love for you to leave me a comment below. Let me know what you loved about this. I cannot wait to see what you all create with these expandable card projects or card sets from Concord and Ninth. They're so much fun to play with. Be sure you share it, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. For those of you who are watching, I have a couple of housekeeping things that I wanted to share with you. Number one, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram. My link is in the YouTube description below. I share a lot of my personal life over on there. And I shared my Disney trip last week. And there's lots of stuff to see there. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Another thing is the Pink Fresh Studio Create and Connect February 2025 or 2026 event is now open for registration. I will be teaching at that event. So if you want to jump in and get your spot, be sure to register for that. And finally, my mug shop. If you know, you know. I do custom laser engraved mugs. It is open this week, but it will close after this week. So if you want to get a mug order in, make sure you do that before the end of the week, because I will be closing it down for the holidays. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you for your sweet, sweet comments. I love you all. I hope that you came here and you got a little joy, a little inspiration, and a little light in your day. And the same thing for those of you watching on replay. Again, thanks for joining me. Stay tuned here because I'll be back this week, Friday, live at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and I'll have some pre-recorded videos along the way as well. So stay tuned here. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my card making and paper crafting video tutorials. Thanks again, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.